Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Tomorrow we have two events. Saturday, August 7th. First, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we have an open Keith and the Girl production meeting. I'm a little nervous because the audience can take this show into any direction they want, right? No, it's related to silent trailers, and it's a lot of fun. KeithAndTheGirl.com/tickets. Get all the information right there. Then, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we have our first premiere video on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, hit all the buttons, like, comment, thank you. There's a thank you button, the remind me button, subscribe button, all the buttons. Let your kids hit the buttons. Have fun with it. Every time you hit one of these buttons, a comedian orgasms. What? Yes. Hemda wrote that in the notes. Okay. Yes. Well, let's say it's real.
It's
okay.
True.
I think you're right. Now that I think about it, hit those buttons on our YouTube channel. The profile name, of course, is Keith and the Girl, and we will see you tomorrow. Big news, Chemda. Football has started, not officially for another month, but we have those preseason games right now. In the first game of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they played against Dallas, 16-3. They won. I now have my bet in for the Steelers winning the Super Bowl.
Now, before we get into your bet, excuse me. Mm-hmm. I assume that 16-3, how many people got COVID?
You know what, you son of a gun. You really are getting more political.
Football. Let me tell you something. I just know football, okay? What you just saw is a lot of football knowledge over the years that I've accumulated, and I can have these conversations. So every year, Keith puts in $100 towards the Steelers. He figures, right? Let me see if I get this football straight.
To win the Super Bowl, right?
To win the Super Bowl, he figures the odds are that one of these times the Steelers have to win.
They have to.
And he's got years in order
building
to
up. Yeah.
Right. So if he puts in 1,000, but they win on the 11th time, you're still up, right, Keith?
So to speak. So
this is honestly, guys, I know that we're learning new math. This is also Keith math. So like put your Keith helmets on. Let's hear the math.
The Steelers, last time they won a Super Bowl was 2008. They're better than most. So it's definitely about time for them to win a Super Bowl. So no matter what's going on, I don't follow preseason stuff. I don't follow the draft, but whatever's going on, I'll put $100 on them to win the Super Bowl. Right now, this will be the 7th time I've done it. Of course, with, I don't know if you need a calculator, but that means I haven't won yet the other 6 times. So I'm down 600. However, if the Steelers do win this year, this round, I would get $3,250. I make up my $600. I get a little bonus. So this is my sure bet that lasts about 2-3 decades.
Okay, I see the math, but I also equate it to your cancer math, which is if 1 out of 5 people have cancer,
yes,
you make 5 friends and you feel safe.
Yes, the more friends with cancer I know, the better I feel.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Chemda had a tumor. I said, thank God. I mean, it already happened, so what's done is done, but I deliberately sent her a gift so that we remain friends.
I did get a laptop that year. Thank you, Keith.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Chemda. Thank you. Thank you, Elvis Rico. Thank you. I mean, the list is going on. Cancer's a pretty blanket term, it seems.
Thank you, Bianca.
Yes, thank you so much, all of you. I see somebody get Bell's palsy. I'm like, thank you. Let's keep in touch more.
This is also Keith math. Like, you ever wonder how to stay positive in your life?
Mm-hmm.
Keith math.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chemda. Mm-hmm. All right. Today's guest featured on Adult Swim. I saw her headline Carolines, and I thought it was excellent. I thought that should have been an album, quite frankly. She was nice enough to open for my most recent show before COVID hit. I'm Dating Your Mom, that album. Been featured on Spike TV, Sirius XM. Hannah Boone. Hello, Hannah.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Mm-hmm. Let's do a mic check real quick. What did you eat today?
Soup.
Is this true? I was just being silly, but is it? You seem like
I ate soup, but it's when you ask me questions that are very simple, for some reason, it's like alarming. I'm like, I don't know. What have I ever eaten? This is why I'm bad at improv. I'm just like, I don't know.
I agree. Those questions where it's like, what's your most perfect day? Or like, but these are even more. This is like, what just happened? And that's like the pothead test. Like, what did you just say?
And I don't know. I don't pay attention to anything. I'm never present. I have no idea.
We either, for the mic check, I either ask, what did you eat today, or what's the last movie you saw on TV? Maybe that's what's making me think about the silly, what did you eat? I just saw the new movie, The Suicide Squad. It's on HBO Max and theaters now. And I want to know if people who know about this, I'm working on a theory that the director of the Suicide Squad is also the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is Marvel, Suicide Squad is DC. I think Marvel paid the director to make this DC movie blow balls.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes.
Like inside betting.
Inside trading. Yeah. Insider sabotage. This movie was so horrible.
Wow. Wow. You ever get a bad review and you're like, I wish people would be more creative with how terrible they feel about me. I give you Keith Malley. Holy shit. He didn't just say I was bored. I didn't like the story. He said, imagine
Yes.
your nemesis asks you to work for them as a Trojan horse and sabotages it from the inside. That's how bad. Did you see it in the movie or?
No, on HBO. I don't care the size of the screen. I just get closer.
Well, I mean, it was so bad you came up with a conspiracy theory. Like that's
Yes.
like 9/11 was so bad.
It's the only way
that
we can
there's
cope.
conspiracy theories.
9/11, I have to make up things because I can't live in a world where this just happens.
Right. So same with this movie.
Yeah. A janitor was
like,
involved in
no.
9/11 in this movie. This guy's getting paid off. It's the only way I can live my life.
Holy shit. I got
I'm
excited.
sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I did
What a
the
loss.
original 5 years ago. There was the movie Suicide Squad. It's 5 years later. He's calling this version The Suicide Squad. You're paid off.
Well, Suicide Squad was bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they kept the spirit.
Yeah.
They're on brand.
Yeah, they're on brand.
This is so sad because I got excited when you said it's on HBO Max, whatever you were about to mention. I'm like, I
Right.
have that.
Yeah, yeah, it
Bring
doesn't
it.
matter. So,
yeah. Instead, you tell me to watch Saturday Night Fever.
uh-huh.
Oh Lord, what a bunch of rapists getting together.
Yeah, hello. You finally saw that, right?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
The main guy is the biggest douchebag that we were all encouraged to date.
John
Just so
Travolta,
you
yeah.
know, yes,
Yeah.
that second part is also true. Like he was the feelings guy. Do you notice one tear left his eyeball?
Mm.
That means he's the good guy. That means he learned a lesson.
Right.
I mean, you ever have like an attempted rape and you're like, I have some things to learn.
That's how the movie ends. John Travolta, this girl he's into, only because she can dance like he can. He goes, oh, sorry about last night when I tried to rape you. And she's like, it'll never happen again. The end.
Mhm.
Okay.
But like it was such a redeeming moment for
Right.
this dude. Like he was all through his feelings. Like if that was his marital, his wedding vows,
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
would be like, oh my God, she got the last good one. My
Well,
husband
even-
never says sorry. By the way, he didn't say sorry. I don't know if he said sorry, but it was washed out with all the rest of the bullshit. So I apologize if I didn't hear his apology. What were you gonna
So
say,
many
Hannah?
of these are so problem. Like even I was rewatching 10 Things I Hate About You, and I was like, I love this movie. This is great. And there's a
Right.
scene where there are two high schoolers in the car, and the boy's like yelling at the girl because he's like, "You don't even like me, and you don't want to go out with me. Have you always been this selfish?" And then she stops and makes out with him, and now he's her boyfriend. And I'm like, perfect. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
There's been
Great
so many
people.
scenes. I am noticing that going back and watching things for the first time and for the 15th time, depending on the movie, I am noticing a lot of like guys yelling at women into like falling madly in love. Like there's not even
Mhm.
in between. There's like, don't you know that everything I do is for you? I've been trying so fucking hard. Bash the wall in, and it's like, I can't believe I didn't notice you before.
Yeah, yeah.
You do
Amazing
care.
behavior.
You
I
do
love
have
it.
passion. Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. There you are.
So I tried to cleanse the palate by watching something less fantastical, and it was the Val Kilmer autobiography documentary called
Oh.
Val. That's on Amazon. I love Val Kilmer when he was out of Hollywood. It was like a sad day. Never mind Top Gun, silly, but Tombstone, The Doors, Heat, The Ghost in the Darkness, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, True Romance. He was Elvis that Christian Slater made up. MacGruber is fantastic. He was in. And
Obviously, Hannah and I are like crazy relating.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to like drift off the screen. I'm like, okay.
Val Kilmer, more like Val Kill Me.
Well, I saw like his face, plastic surgery, whatever, his face changing like in the news. Well, now he's a documentary. I'm like, maybe this guy was at the top of his game. Maybe they'll explain what happened. He was in Life's Too Short, a Ricky Gervais TV show, and he played himself, but he's really down and out, and he's a scam artist, and he's like, I think he like rips off like a restaurant, this kind of thing. It just depressed me. I'm like, no, this is real though, and you're willing to let Ricky make fun of you. Not that Ricky doesn't make fun of himself, but this is real, and it's sad.
Doesn't he kind of give you River Phoenix vibes? Val
Yes.
Kilmer? Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
And also, wasn't he Batman?
He was a Batman, correct? And you got to be something to be a Batman. Yeah.
Forgot from football to fucking movies.
See?
Look at you. That movie game is like, you're getting sharp. Gonna have to stop playing it. She knows now.
I got, with struggling, I got 30 minutes into this documentary. It is so self-serving.
Wow.
It's him and old home videos, but like you're not in them and you don't really know these people, so who gives a shit? Like you did a somersault down a hallway, but I would have believed you just the same.
Wow. So the hits are not hitting you. The hits from his life.
No, it's not. And maybe they say it at the end, and you can spoil it if you've seen it out there. But I don't think it doesn't look like they're going to talk about his face. And he says he has. What is your face? You were made so handsome that there has to be a God.
Keith, when Keith has too much money, he's gonna have a Netflix original. What happened to your face?
Yes. And they're acting
You
like
are so pretty.
Yeah. Where did they put the tracheotomy? Through his face? I don't know what happened, and I want to know why it's melting.
In another life, Keith is a plastic surgeon. I swear to God. If you believe at all in these things, you know that this is true. By the way, that guilt that I see you feeling about like, hey, there's a person I care about, whatever, in the distance.
Yeah.
I had the same feeling today. I tried to watch this documentary about how women are not represented in media as directors, as actors. You're always working with men. And I'm like, wow, Reese Witherspoon and all the hits, the one that everybody wants to work, Meryl Streep, everybody's in this. And they're talking about really just high level stuff. Yes, of course, we should be represented. We're 50% of the population. And I'm like, wow, yes, good point. Oh, I didn't know that. That's great. And then I see I'm 20 minutes in and I'm like, I think I got all your points.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to turn this off because I am a woman. And then I'm doing the opposite of this documentary because everyone in this is a woman. And I'm like, yep, boring.
Yeah.
We do repeat ourselves, click.
The fuck? I'm like, oh my God. Have I given myself a thing where I need to watch this in order to keep feminism alive? Of course, because I'm that important. Thank you. Let's make that the poll.
I saw a documentary that was actually wonderful, and it was about female comedian. It was very specific. It was about female comedians getting plastic surgery.
Oh,
and
Keith just spoke up. This is great. Okay.
Oh, it's a great documentary. Wonderful. Do I remember the name? Of course not, but I will try to figure it out.
Was it called Soup?
Soup. No, but it was so good. And then they follow this one character actress around who's like really funny. And they were like, is she going to get plastic surgery? Is she not? And I guess I won't tell you the ending, but it was great doc.
That's so lovely. She knew that that's a spoiler.
She doesn't. So anyways.
I know.
What else could it be? Yeah, it's got to end nice. So it's going to end, I realize I'm worthwhile as is. Come on.
I don't know. There's a lot of female comedians with a lot of plastic surgery.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, there was a girl at an open mic a couple of years ago who was 24 and just got her first Botox. And I was like,
Uh,
Shit.
I know. But
Well,
I'm from
we've-
LA, so I was so for me, I was like, I get it. Like we're taught that, but like, don't. You're fine.
now we've had I'm thinking of more than one guest where like the parent got the daughter a nose job at 16.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you're not going to think the nose got fixed by 17. You're going to think you're going to find more problems. I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Well, and who likes their features at 16? I hated everything. I like hated, I used to, when I was little, when I would like lose an eyelash or something, all of my wishes were to have straight hair. I wished for it. I never prayed because we were very religious and I didn't agree, but I started praying when I was like, I could pray for straight hair. And I just like started praying for it. And now I'm like happy. I'm happy I have curly hair. So.
Well,
This is always greener.
no, that's just God's way.
God did it.
Yeah. You
And-
were praying. So
Yeah, I was praying and he answered. He answered.
yeah, thank you. Yes.
the man that is God. I try to do that at all my like NA and AA meetings. I'm like, everyone,
That's funny.
God's a man. And they're like, we didn't ask, we don't know who you are. And I'm like, God's a man.
Let's
And
pray
then I
to
leave.
him. Right.
It sounds
Let's
like
ask
the meetings
nice.
are going well.
Right. He's a man.
Yeah.
Let's ask nicer.
Please. Smile.
Please, may I be happy, man. BetterHelp. You know about therapy. Let me mention BetterHelp again. 2021, mental health is finally a thing. So many people struggling right now, right? Hmm?
Yeah. Oh, that is always
Oh.
correct. I mean, obviously, yes, everyone is struggling.
Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles. Start feeling better. You deserve to be happy. And you don't have to do, I'm reading the news. I don't know how fun it would be to see a therapist in person. Well, not only do you not see the therapist in person now, you can see a computer, laptop, phone, anything. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than in-person therapy. That's great. This podcast, I almost said that's crazy, but maybe I'm not supposed to. The podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. And Keith and the Girl listeners get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com/KATG. That's BetterHelp.com/KATG.
We've had a lot of comedians on here saying that they're very scared to go to a therapist because it's their sadness and struggle that makes them so funny. And everybody who actually went to therapy, even after thinking that, just kind of hoping to get something good out of it, they knew that they were wrong about that. It doesn't take away your edge. And it doesn't take away your personality.
You actually find more words.
Exactly.
To be
I'm much
sharper.
better. I'm much better because my funniest stuff, even if it's about sad stuff, is when I'm beyond, like I can't write. I have tried to write jokes about sad stuff while I'm in it still,
Right.
and it's a nightmare. People are like, like you're clearly working through something, but like you have to be, when I'm past it and healed and happy, that's when I can really do my art. So
I want to hear those jokes. Really? Fuck you. You wouldn't even say that to a mirror to yourself, you piece of shit. You get what I'm saying, guys?
no context. Soup. Fuck.
I try to do.
You ever have someone say soup to you and it's your trigger for the rest of the day?
Right.
Thank God I already ate it. Otherwise, I'd be like,
She calls me later. It was cereal. I'm a piece of shit. Click. You got to have these tools ready when you start to go nuts. One of my favorite things to do now is when I pick up my phone, because who calls nowadays? It's inevitably a scam. And and they have a robot voice that's supposed to sound human, but they don't want to waste their time. So they make you press one. I always press one.
Oh,
I'm in. Maybe it means I'm getting on even bigger and longer lists. It's an endless cycle. I love it. And, it could be there was a problem with my social security card. So I'm going to have to talk to them. It could be, what's everybody getting now? The car insurance, something's up with your car. This is the final chance we can get to you. I pick up the phone today and I go, yeah, hey, what's up? Talk to me. Well, hi, I'm Roger. Rah! Come on, Raj, what we got? And there's a pause where he's thinking like, wait a minute. I go, Raj, I want good things, not bad things. Help me. He's like, okay, what's your car? I'm like, what do you got written down, Raj? He's like, well, I need you to say it. I'm like, of course, Raj, that would make perfect sense. Toyota Corolla, 2018.
Did that come to you, Toyota Corolla, or did you?
For whatever reason,
ready?
I must have saw a commercial recently.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I never had a Toyota Corolla. And he goes, okay, and how many miles on the car? I go, 6 million. and I'm having a blast. You think I'm eating a popsicle or something in the dead of summer. This is so fun. I go, 6 million. And he goes, for 2018? And I go, oh, right. That'd be too much for 2018, Raj, wouldn't it? 6,000? Then he goes, well, what's your zip code? I go, 66666. And he goes, did you say you're in New York? I'm like, yeah, New York, Pennsylvania. Goes, what? New York City, Pennsylvania.
See, Keith is good at improv.
Yeah, you're good. I'd be freaking out.
So then he goes, oh, hold on. Let me transfer you to my supervisor. Now, this supervisor speaks even better English, is clearer, and I guess, deals with real problem customers. But you don't waste that person's time, if there isn't somebody, literally hanging on the line or figuratively. And then she goes, hi, your what car was this about? And I go, Toyota Corolla 2018. Okay, and how many miles? 6 million. Fuck you. Click. That's them.
She said, "Fuck you."
Fuck you. And I love it. I had this was also today, the social security number one. They're like, it's been compromised. You have to call about it. And they go, hi, what's your social security number? I'm like, well, what do you got? It's like, no, you have to say to make sure. And I'm like, that's 7. And they go, go fuck yourself. Click. You're mad at me. We all have to make a living, asshole. Click.
This is Keith's new not drinking game.
Yes.
Yeah.
If he can get someone to curse at him, he gets that rush.
Yeah. I have a good time.
And he compared a good time to, it's like I'm eating a popsicle and it's the dead of summer.
Yeah.
What age are you stuck at?
You don't want to see my freezer, but popsicles are
It's
good.
like playing with my dolls in my room. It's fun.
If you do have Keith and the Girl VIP and you haven't heard this show I'm about to mention, make sure you check it out. It's the ultimate crank call. It's episode 2625. It's called the Resurgence, aka Literary Book Scouts and the Technicals, then parentheses SEO. But looking up the number might be the easiest way, 2625. But I'm 47 and I still love these. I still love these versions of crank calls. Now I live in a world where they come to me. Remember back in the day, you had to find a number, call it, and be an asshole. Now they call you. Only in America.
I like that they get mad at you like, hey, it's a living.
Right.
So slinging crack.
Yeah.
Maybe go do
Motherfucker.
that.
Right.
And slinging crack is better because people are like asking you for a service. This is just, you're bothering everyone.
Yeah, they're opting in. Here, you're trying to get their social security number so that you could rob them of everything. And with crack, you're having a negotiation. $10,
Right.
$5, a little high, a lot high. It's your life.
There was one, I got a guy, his name was Steve. And he's like, okay, so, I need this information. I'm like, come on, Steve, make my fucking day. Tell me good news. He's like, all right, I'll take you off the list, the call list. I'm like, actually, can you put me on twice there, Steve? I love it. Fuck you. Click. All right, before we get into our guest mental health, let me mention this, okay? Munk Pack, MUNKPACK. Let's say, when did all the problems happen, right? We learned this with the halts. Maybe you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, stupid.
Okay, Keith added the S part because Hannah's like, I am familiar with halt, but yes.
But then
S
he
was
said stupid, and I was like, okay.
Maybe you just need a quick pick-me-up. That's when Munk Pack comes in. They have their nut and seed bars. They have their granola bars. They're keto-friendly. Into keto? Perfect. Not into keto? They don't want your money. I'm kidding. It's healthy, so it's good for everybody. That's the thing. 1 gram of sugar or less, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, only 150 calories. And you go, hop, 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 and you're not a piece of shit anymore. That's what's good about Munk Pack. That's a hell of a tagline. but they're not wrong. Try it for yourself and you'll see. There's a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Munk Pack by visiting monkpack.com and enter the code KATG at checkout. And Munk Pack is so confident in their product. By the way, what a great name. So easy to say. It's backed with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whatever you prefer. To get started, just go to Munk Pack. Just take your hand and slam all the consonants on your computer and then hit enter. And then you'll be at monkpack.com and select any product, then enter the code KATG at checkout, save 20% off your purchase, okay? Munk Pack is delicious, nutritious food you can count on, okay? Thank you, Munk Pack, for sponsoring the podcast. All right. Now, Hannah,
Yeah.
we got to talk. So
Let's talk.
I follow Hannah on social media. You should too. It's Boone Comedy. Sometimes
I hate this part.
Sometimes it's a tragedy, isn't it, Hannah?
I hate this part.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to jump around here a little bit because I'm telling a story. Recently, Hannah rates serious tweet. By the way, you should do like Boone Tragedy and Boone Comedy, right? And then,
Yeah.
because
Are you gonna read the whole serious tweet? It's so long. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're the one who wrote it. You raters need to realize what you're writing. Don't blame
Yeah,
the
but I
reader.
can write it. I don't have to read it. Now I have to listen to it. I don't want to do that.
Serious tweet. To people struggling with addiction, not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone's going to treat you well. People who you thought loved you might try and degrade you, and some people will abandon you when you need them most. Keep going. Find the love you deserve. Now, are you really rating this to yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Addiction is a disease. It's not a character flaw or moral. Did you hit heart on it after you wrote it? Did you like it?
That's tacky.
In my heart.
Okay.
But
Okay. Addiction is a disease. It's not a character flaw or moral failing that deserves punishment. 12-step programs, including Al-Anon for the loved ones of an addict, exist to help treat it. And if you're struggling, I hope reading this brought you comfort. You're not bad. You're sick. You are capable. You're deserving of love. You are worthy. I have hope for you. And sometime earlier than that, of course, I see on Twitter that you were back in rehab. What
Where do you-
happened?
fun.
It's a great place to get this kind of wonderful information.
Yeah.
Great post. I hit like now spiritually, and later we'll look for it and hit the physical like because I like making comedians come. Hannah,
What happened, Hannah?
Oh God. Well, I'd been kind of sliding for a while. It started with like, I don't need the program.
Boys.
I can do this on my own.
Okay.
Well, it started with like, I don't need the program. I was like, I'm fixed. I
Right.
got it, which is dangerous
Right.
for not listen, sobriety is different for everybody. I think it looks different on everyone. I think different things work for different people. For me personally, I need to be in a 12-step.
Right.
And I decided I didn't. And that was a long time ago. And then it started like a little bit of weed. And then I've really fine for a long time. And then I stopped the weed, but then I was like, well, maybe I'll do pills again. And then I was
Now, when
starting to
you
do
say what's pills, when you say pills,
like opiates, and I got an Adderall prescription.
now what do you overdosing on? Cleaning the stove?
Yeah, I just drank a bunch of dishwashing liquid and was like, who knows? Yeah, no, that was like I did. What did I
You're
do?
paying too much attention to me.
I did.
let me compare. Okay, so a lot of addiction is perfectly fine when done in moderation, if there is a moderate button that Hannah seems to not have. So for you, your moderation button is very strong on food. You know how we bother you because you don't eat the last 2 bites of your sandwich and you're done with potato chips when your sandwich is done?
Right.
That's moderation.
But
You know
also,
how to do that.
in all fairness, though, popsicles are my happy place. So, but I see what you're saying.
Yes.
That's fair. They're happy. Popsicles are happy.
They're happy.
They just
They
are.
tell you
They
little
just
jokes
are.
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it had been like a long time coming. And then eventually I was just like, after that Adderall prescription, I was off to the races. Like I was just like on so much Adderall. And then I was like, well, I have to come down off this 80 milligrams of Adderall, which was not my prescription. I was prescribed like 20 a day.
Right.
And then I was like, I have to come down with something. and it ended up being like a combo of like benzos and muscle relaxers and anything I could get my hands on. And then
should people know better than to give you the pill? Like 80 milligrams, you weigh 80 milligrams. Should people know?
Oh my
like,
God, Keith, you're so sweet. No.
Thank you.
I know. I was like, stop.
Those aren't even words. Stop. Should they know better than to give you pills? Is that an asshole move? Obviously, it's your fault, not theirs. But what the fuck?
Yeah, my psychiatrist knew I was sober, but I'm very manipulative, and I was just like, well, like I used to take Ritalin, not true. And I never abused it, not true. So I never really had a problem with that, and I really can't focus, and I'm back in school, all not true. And I think I really need it.
How can a therapist see through your lies? Because that's all they have to go by, right? Like if you wouldn't have said not true, I would have thought one of those, your two truths and a lie is like magical. So
yeah, I'm good at it.
How can I tell that you're lying?
If you were a therapist.
I'm speaking.
yeah.
Well,
like
if you're the therapist, you can in the back of the book have a glossary for each patient, and when they were wanting help and telling the truth, now you have a list of all the drugs they were ever on in their life.
Yeah, or have a listed well, my therapist I've been seeing for 3 years now, and I can't get anything past him. He knows immediately if I'm lying. And I don't really lie to him often, but like when I lie, I'm not actually, I'm lying to myself so much that like I believe it. Like I'll say it and be like, well, I've been telling myself this lie for so long. When I'm using, that's how it goes. Like I'm just like when I'm not using, I'm actually a pretty bad liar because I don't have anything I want to lie about. So I'm just like I'm half-heartedly, like I can't even think of anything I'd want to lie about sober. But when
I couldn't even tell you what
lies.
she ate for breakfast because she's like, well, whatever I think about is going to be a lie. Where's the truth? Where's the truth?
And then it was soup, and I felt lame for it being soup. I wish it was more exciting.
Hey, by the way, just to jump ahead real quick, when you realize that you need help and you get help, are the pills coincidentally done? Are you like, well, like I should take 2 more Vicodins then if I'm going to quit anyway, it's rude to throw away.
Oh, when my friend was on his way to pick me up to take me to rehab, I downed like a liter of vodka.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this Last Hurrah, which is, I don't recommend for a lot of reasons.
Wow, I was writing this down.
I don't want people to hear that and be like, yeah, totally Last Hurrah. Like, no, because you could die on your Last Hurrah. So like, don't do that. But also if you go into the hospital wasted, it's like an unpleasant experience. I mean, it's unpleasant no matter what, but it's worse.
Right. I hear they have to believe you. I gotta fucking make them believe me. I need help. You believe me? You shit in your pants, man. We believe you.
My friend, when I took too many pills, which to be clear by accident, but he made me go to the ER, and he took me to the ER, and I fought him the whole way. I was like, I don't have to go to the fucking ER. And then I went to the ER and went up to the window. This is like, I don't remember much, but I remember going up to the window and being like, the guy was like, why are you here? And I was like, well, first of all, it's bullshit. He was like, okay. And I was like, I just took some pills. And they were like, oh, okay. And they wrote me back.
Right.
Now, you said you took the pills by accident. What does that mean?
No, I took them on purpose, but I wasn't a suicide attempt. It was like I overdosed by accident.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But like, yeah, I just wanted to be like, you can totally accidentally overdose if you're just too much fun. And yeah, so my friend was like, you have to go to the ER. And I was like, no. And then I went, and it was good. I went, but
why are you drinking so much? Why are you taking pills? Do you see what's out there in the world? This is on Hannah's Twitter. Who are the 279 people that liked an ad for Dairy Queen? Show yourselves. You're absolutely right. This is the psychotic world I live in. Ooh, a Blizzard like. Now you only get more of those ads, and who gives a fuck?
In the words of the great Eddie Pepitone, why do I have to be conscious for the horror? You know?
Right.
Horrible.
So you go into rehab. I want to hear all about that. Now, jumping ahead again, though, what do you know? Do you know what led you down this path in the first place?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a few things. I was about the program. I was like, I don't really need it. Like I can stop whenever. And I also like, I would go in and be like, okay, I'm going to do step 1 because that seems cool. I'm not going to do step 4. That seems yucky. I don't really want anyone to be my sponsor because that's annoying. And now I'm just like, I will do it all. I have a sponsor. I go every day, sometimes twice a day. I do the steps. I am whatever. Like I'm all in. Like
Yeah, I think I have
100%.
this personality too that doesn't have to be something specific. Just going off your tweets, though, I didn't know is there truth to there was 4 rejections in a row of romantic interests? Is it anything that specific?
Oh yeah. The dating, I was not ready to start dating. The rejections were like, I took them too hard. Like it was like very borderline of me. Like they like triggered my like borderline. Like I would go on one date and then someone would say, I'm not interested. And I'd be like, oh my God, I'm being abandoned. And it's like, you don't know this person's last name. Like it's fine.
Right.
You're
and
good.
Hannah also points out like, that was also my fake best self.
Yeah.
On the first date and you didn't like that.
Yeah, that's like the best version of me. And you said no. Like you haven't, what did I tweet? I was like, you haven't even seen me rap along to Macklemore or whatever,
Right.
which I don't do, but I thought that was funny.
No, nobody does. Of course,
No
not.
one does. You can't.
But also, it's like hasn't there been times where like, okay, you rejected me, but like I wasn't so interested in you either, and it still hurt.
Yes.
Like no, I'm not that interested in you. And actually, that was one of the lines in the movie. He's not that into you. Is this woman would go on a date and she's like, it was like a mediocre, I guess that's good enough type date, and he was mediocre on the response, and suddenly she's a stalker. Like, and I mean, yeah, like, oh, maybe he'll call, blah blah blah, and it's like, are you even interested in this guy? And it's like you just want to be interesting enough for somebody to reject. For you to reject someone. Yeah.
I want someone to pine after me. I mean, that's an awesome feeling. Like, it's like my ideal relationship. I don't care, but I have like 5 people who are in love with me. Is that something? What is that?
It is. It's narcissism. So, and not even your narcissism. I think that we were taught to like narcissistic love, which is that love bombing. If you see any romantic movie, they go above and beyond. They destroy their own lives. They leave big meetings that they've been waiting for their whole life, like to make sure that they catch this flight on a tarmac where like you're not even allowed to be. The cops are chasing after you. This isn't the person you're supposed to love, but that is a love story. The rest of it sounds so boring next to that. But anyone who's willing to do that for you, especially without knowing you, is a terrorist of your heart. They are manipulating you. But yeah, like you said, it's like, well, sorry that I don't like when somebody goes above and beyond for me, but it's like, wait, why are you doing this?
Absolutely.
Right.
And I've been love bombed, and that is a tricky. I mean, it's like when I was younger, right? Like in my 20s, I'm like, oh, yay, this man who's 20 years older than me just loves me. And it's like, no, there's something going on. There's something happening there.
He wants to be with me every minute. Of course, I'm so fun.
And I've learned, don't be so giving. Don't be so nice. Yes, I recognized you looked at a book and I remembered it later. Fuck off. I want to see you again. So I get it. I get it. Would you say you're a sex and love addict as well? Have you gone to those meetings?
I have a little bit. It's definitely there. It's like a game of whack-a-mole for me. It's the trifecta. It's food, it's drugs and alcohol, it's sex and love. Like it's
everything that's fun.
That's everything.
Yeah.
It's literally everything.
It's all
except popsicles.
Except popsicles, that goes under sex, and then TV, that's porn. It's the trifecta.
Actually,
like the only
popsicles is the food thing. So yeah.
Yeah. And the only thing I don't have is gambling, but it's like I've never gambled. So I might have the gambling thing. I don't know.
If I get a text on the Steelers bet, I'll know something's up. Kenda told me this on one of the 72 shows we do a week, that in Sex and Addicts Anonymous, it's also where pedophiles go to get their help. It's the same class. Can you fucking imagine? I come in late to Sex and Addicts, and this guy's like, they're smart enough to act like an adult. They know what love is. And I'm like, that's true. That is true. Everybody looks at me. What the fuck? That's the same class? Okay, I guess. You are, though, dating now. When did you get out of rehab?
By the way, how long was rehab? What is this rehab? Is it like a, as my mother would call it, sleepover?
It was sleepover, super fun. It was 2 weeks. I had a cool roommate. Loved her. It was, and me and her were the only women there, which like not on purpose, I don't think, but just a bunch of men kept coming in. But I went in on the 24th of June. So, whatever 2 weeks after that is, I got out.
Okay.
All right. And then and then what? It's like an AA meeting or that kind of thing. Here and again, a therapist.
Oh,
Run around the
God.
block.
It is. I would get up at like 5:30 because they come in to give you your meds. So then you're up and then you have coffee, breakfast at 8. And then it is group therapy,
Okay.
all for 8 hours, but with 15-minute breaks in between. It is.
Oof.
And then at the end of the day, you have an AA or NA meeting, and then you're done at like 8:30 p.m.
Did you pick up any cool sayings or any epiphanies, or did you just need shaken up again?
I had some epiphanies that really helped me because I went in like, I'm not done. I went in like, I'm not done. And then, which is hilarious because I was like, I need to do more. And it's like, really? Do you?
Yeah.
But then, this guy literally, it's so simple, but he was just like, yeah, I had to surrender and just do whatever the program told me to do. And I was like, okay. It's like, for it to
Right.
work, you have to do it. And
You
like,
gotta do
that
what the
was
scientists
so,
are telling you, right?
I was like, okay, so I have to like do the thing okay. And then I was like, I'm going to do the thing. And then I got out and I did the thing. I'm doing the thing. So
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
I don't want to have to believe in God, so I'm not going to do it. All right. You can't even stop yourself from picking up vodka, Keith. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I'll check out what the scientists figured out first. Then I'll
Yeah.
decide about if there's God. Yeah.
And there's not even an excuse anymore because there's atheist meetings. Like,
Right.
it's like any excuse I could think of. They were like, oh, well, we have something for that. And I was like, fine.
But you tweeted that you get into rehab or the ER and they give you a Klonopin to calm you down and an iPad. What the fuck is going on? I'm waiting for the next Roseanne episode.
Yeah, here's the thing. Everyone's iPad had social media blocked, but there was a mistake on mine. And I had social media. And I was happy because that was how I was like contacting people.
You knew your passwords?
I they put me on so much Klonopin, I don't even know. Like I was walking the
Aside from
walls.
that.
I don't know, but I don't know how I must have gotten in tune with some sort of center in my brain where all that stuff is stored and I knew it.
When you have to, you get it done. When you have to. Yeah. But
When it's important.
If I have cute clothes and a Craftmatic bed, I got to get on social media. It's important.
And then I don't remember, like I was in such a haze when I was like tweeting. And then after I like came out of the haze after like 3 days and I was like detoxed and everything, I was like kind of horrified. And then I was like, okay, I can't delete these tweets because then I'm a coward. I have to keep them. And then I kept them and was like, and we just move forward.
Here's one. I don't celebrate. Well, this was before, I guess. I don't. So maybe you can see if there's a decline coming. Who knows?
Okay.
By the way, does this help you move forward? Is this what you were talking about, Hannah?
Of course.
Yeah,
it does.
super exciting. This is like a whole step 4 for me. This is such an inventory I'm taking. Thank you so much.
I don't celebrate Father's Day. Instead, I do a little ceremony every time my dad passes out on drugs at the breakfast table.
Yeah.
You know where it came from, right? Your parents met in a mental
Psych
hospital.
ward. Yes.
They didn't work there, let's say. Congrats to everyone for their dad nutting in their mom and kind of just dealing with the aftermath of that half-heartedly. See you in the ER soon. This isn't offensive. I have a friend who's a dad. But when they see you have the tattoo diarrhea, the word diarrhea on your thigh.
Yes.
Why do I forget that? How do I forget that?
And
I don't know.
It's in that Thrasher logo, right?
Correct. The
Because
only way I
that's-
would have it.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened when it was running down her leg. It was like, does this look like diarrhea?
Now, when somebody at rehab, they're like, now see, you get tattoos like diarrhea and shit. Don't you want your life to? Are you like, no, I was sober. That was a conscious choice. That's what you're dealing with. That was conscious.
Yeah, like welcome to your project. Like this is what I did at 29. So
Let's see if you could fix me now.
yeah, good fucking luck. What was funny in rehab, because people would be like, I can't believe you would get that tattoo. And I'm like, I can't believe what you did. Like, I can't, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm in rehab. Where can people finally start believing this?
Right.
Like, if not in rehab, where do I have to go?
I can't wait to the meeting tonight when you finally bring up your kids. That's what I'm excited about. But yes, I got a tattoo. She wrote, when I got to rehab, my glasses fell off my face in the bathroom stall and they got flushed down the toilet. And honey, that's showbiz.
They did. I
What?
flushed my glasses down the toilet on the first day. And then I went out and was like, I flushed my glasses down the toilet. And they were like, what? And I was like, can we get them? And they were like, no, you flushed them down the toilet. I was like, oh.
And now you're in the books.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here you talked about being arrested for taking all your clothes off in public. That wasn't related to this time, was it?
No, and I did take all my clothes off in public, but I was not arrested. I was just given a talking to.
By the neighbors?
No, I was in a bar and the bartenders were like, you can't do this. And then I did it again and they kicked me out. That was years ago, though. That wasn't this round.
Right. How does it happen this round? How does a friend know that you're being too much and takes you to the emergency room? How does that even get there?
He called me. He's a sober friend. So he was doing like it was just by chance. He was doing a sober check-in and calling me. And I was trying to lie. Like I was like, hey, I'm good. In my head, that's what it sounded like. But I think it came out like, and he was like, what? And then we just slowly realized and was like, oh my God, I'm taking you to the hospital. And I was like, fuck you. And then I went, it was fine.
Do you even think to lock the door? I'm not going to answer the door. Or you're going to go with it if it happens?
I was so fucked up. I was like, yeah, I don't even know. He was just there. And I was like, okay. And then by the time he got there, I was also in a place where I was like, do I need to go to the hospital? Like, I was like, maybe I need to go to the hospital. But then by the time we got there, I was mad again.
Also, I picture, he hangs up, he comes over, she opens the door at Tim and it's like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you.
Yeah.
And here you are. Wow.
Yeah, basically.
Hannah wrote, love the nurse in rehab chanting, Bill Cosby didn't do it. Yes, sir. Tell me how to live. Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I had to walk away. I was like, well, there was another person in rehab who was like, it's not worth it. You have to live here. This is not. And I was like, yeah. And I walked away.
So as we all know, you take one of these, like when I got sober, you're not supposed to date for a year. I did. I met somebody. I'm like, I couldn't imagine not doing it. Although, again, why wouldn't we follow the scientist? I certainly slipped a couple times.
To be clear, scientists did not create AA.
I don't know.
No.
I didn't read the whole thing. The
Okay.
size of the fucking Bible.
It's page one. It's page one. It's like author Bill W.
There's a couple, bagats that I skipped. But anyway, you're not supposed to date for a year, so it hasn't been long at all. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I did meet somebody.
Right.
And I was not going to date.
And this is love, by the way. I can tell by Instagram kisses. Tell me I'm wrong. Right?
It's love. It's love. And all I could think to do was talk to my sponsor about it and come up with rules. So we have some boundaries. I can only see him twice a week. We have separate programs. We can go to some meetings together, but we have to have separate programs.
Is only twice a week worse because it's only twice a week. So you're going to make sure you prioritize sex.
No, actually it's okay. I actually really like it. Then when we see each other, we just have a lot of sex. It adds up. But it actually feels really good because I didn't realize this is what was happening, but it's my first relationship with boundaries. And that's really nice. It feels good.
Like just the separation thing? Is that what you mean? Or is there something else?
And if I stop going to meetings, we can't see each other. If I skip work to go see him or something unhealthy like that, then I can't see him anymore. And I'm really keeping these rules and I do want to see him. So I can't do things like that. I even one time tried, I was like, I'll take off work and I'll come see you. And he was like, what are we doing? He was like,
See,
I don't
that-
think so.
That's the romantic stuff, right? Like, I'll take off work, we'll go frolic in the park. Like, how big and romantic, how like first year, because once you establish like my finances and your finances and our house and everything, then when somebody takes a day off to be with you, you're like, the fuck, shouldn't you be at work?
Yeah.
We have rent. Oh, well, you thought
right,
this was
exactly.
cute. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And he's very, and like because he was so good at that in the beginning, I'm now like much better. I'm establishing boundaries as well. But like he was very good with like, we're not going to do that. You're not going to, no, we're going to have dinner next Wednesday. It'll be great, but we're not breaking any of the rules.
Is he
and
sober?
I have to go to,
Because he seems to understand this kind of language. That's good.
he's sober and he's like, I have to go to a meeting and then I'll come see you. And I was like, come early. And he's like, no, I have to go to my meeting with my sponsor and then I will come see you.
Yeah.
Like he's good about that.
And you're good at taking it and understanding it. Not, you know, you're not saying, or maybe you are saying, but it's okay if sobriety is more important than me even.
Absolutely. Sobriety has to be number one, which again, I never did before. And now I'm doing that. And it's like, it's different, but it's better. I like it more.
And did you know him before this latest rehab stint?
No.
Nice.
Why are we extra proud of this from both of you? What's going on?
I would have said it just to denote, but it sounds funny. Like there's something behind it. Why
there is
would that
something
be a
behind
thing?
it.
Oh, okay.
Because how we met is not
Kosher.
Yeah.
You met in the same rehab. Nice.
Oh, like your parents.
Like my fucking parents. Yeah.
Did they ever have to take you aside and say, hey, we see something's going on that you might want to cool it? And
yes.
Really? And they did, right?
I got in trouble. Yeah, I got placed on restriction, which is where we couldn't be in the same room and they had to check on me every 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they could just tell that you're sitting close and talking, or are you being overt?
We were sitting close. We would sneak off and kiss. And then we realized there was a
camera.
Yeah.
And we realized it was 2021.
And we're in a hospital.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah. But I mean, I wasn't placed on restriction until like 3 days before I left. So I was like, see you on the outside.
What do you think about so everyone has their thing that they know very well or that they went through. And then when you watch the movie, it's like inaccuracy. Like I really love the YouTube videos where they get like an actual detective to go through detective shows and detective movies. And it's like, oh, they got this right. They got this wrong. What do you think of rehab movies? Like, and I specifically am uncomfortable with some of the AA meetings that they show on TV. It's always shitty. It's always crosstalk, like people talking shitty to each other, which is not allowed. It's always giving advice. It's like all the stuff that has nothing to do with it, except for these are sad sacks who can't get their life together, and somebody spewing all these slogans and irritating everybody else.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say I saw the movie Queen's Gambit. It was a good miniseries, but it was funny how she got sober from one nice long bath. Do you see movies like that and think bullshit or whatever?
Yeah, there is a show I like where the dad in it gets sober, and he gets sober because he was just like it was almost not like I can't do this anymore or this is like toxic, but he was just like, oh, like he was like, is it bad that I drink alcohol in the morning? And usually it's like,
right.
You just are still doing it. And then he, in his AA meeting, everyone's sitting in a circle and it's his turn to share. So he stands up out of his seat and he's like, gives a monologue. And it's like, you have 2 minutes. Like, you don't have time.
Right.
Someone will light you. Like, you can't do that. Yeah. It's just all very like.
And have I asked you if you've seen the show Love?
I haven't. Oh, a little bit. I've seen a little bit.
Okay. We should do a show about it from the Al-Anon and sober perspective, because this is like, to me, this is, and I'm not saying their AA meetings are better or like accurate, but this is the most accurate depiction of an Al-Anon AA relationship that I've seen on TV.
Oh, I gotta watch it. I'll
Yeah.
watch it tonight. That's
And there's a
I'm-
movie that Sandra Bullock did a long time ago where she's an alcoholic. I thought they got that more
30
close.
days or 40 days. It's
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, very silly at times, but I thought that was more accurate.
I'd give that
Yeah.
show Love a chance. I think I was confusing it with the L word.
Fine, we'll do a show together. Oh my God, Hannah, I can't do anything. You go ahead. I want to hear that you want to watch the show. I've
No,
been talking about this for years.
Well, I'm watching.
Oh, I'd love to.
You got me into Atypical. I just finished the 3rd season. It's getting a little boring with these stupid fucking kids.
Yeah.
But
It gets boring for a little while. The next season is better, but I almost quit on the 2nd season. I have to let you know.
But that mom, she's an Alanonic, and there is no redeeming quality about her. I hate her. I'm despising her, and it doesn't look like there's any continuity errors to her character.
Well, a lot of times the Alanonics will be the people that everybody hates because the other side is way more fun. I mean, unless you have like an angry alcoholic or whatever, but you might not even see that because the Alanonic is busy hiding their shit. And then so the AA person gets like, oh yeah, the kids don't know that he's not paying the bills. The kids don't know that he's coming in at 2 a.m. pissing me off. They don't know that he needs to take out the garbage. So he just seems like a fun fucking guy minding his own business. And the Alanonic is like yelling at 2 a.m. when he gets home. She's the one or he's the one that's like going out of their mind because they're not covering up for themselves. They're covering up for this other person.
Right.
And there's probably a building resentment, right? Of the
Yeah.
person they're taking
Yes.
care of.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Why is no one recognizing how amazing and angelic I am?
Yeah.
I don't get to have the fun. So at least give me the credit. And it's like, just shut up and have fun. If that's what
Yeah.
you're calling fun, then stop making me stop having fun. Stop it.
Mhm.
And it's got to. I have to imagine it's tough on alcoholics or Alanonics, being like, okay, your problem is you're too nice. Okay, sorry, you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's how we hide. We're like, oh no, I'm just too nice for this world. And it's like, you're actually being the biggest cunt and you're annoying me about it. So maybe you're not the nice one. Like, at least he just, goes and falls asleep in the corner after some drinks. You don't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's one more tweet from Hannah. Well, accidentally sent a thirst trap to my brother who wants to push me off a fucking building.
Mhm.
How thirsty?
Okay, so I was actually saved from this because I meant to send him a picture from our trip in Chicago. And what I accidentally did was send him a folder of all my pictures from like that week
Oh.
or month or something, but he didn't figure out it was a folder, so he didn't click it. He just looked at the picture and was like, oh, cute picture. Anyway, have you seen blah, 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 blah? And I was like, thank God you don't care. Thank God. Whoa. Thank God you don't give a shit about this.
Is this? I mentioned this the other day. I notice when it comes to thirst traps, and keep doing them. Everybody, they're sexy. But every 5th message, tits, ass, lips, this, and then all of a sudden, don't forget, mental health is important.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that too?
Yeah, I have. And I think it's funny. And I think it's like a fun, sexy combo.
Keeps me
I think
guessing.
it's like exciting.
Now get help if you need it. Here's my ass pipe. I'm like, okay, but
Sex sells, So
you're pointing to your tits. Cute umbrella I got, right? And the next day, don't forget, have tools to deal with, blah, blah, blah. Well, so you're feeling good? You're looking good. You're feeling good?
Yeah, I am. I'm feeling really good. There's some aftermath that I'm dealing with of like the relapse and stuff. That's a bummer. But like for the most part, going to meetings and I'm making friends in the rooms and like things are pretty good.
Can I ask what does that mean? Aftermath? A relationship with a person or physical health?
One of the steps is saying sorry.
Yeah, it's step 9. Yeah, I have some people who are just angry with me that I worried them so much, which I understand. So hopefully that'll get worked out.
You weren't available, or they're just angry like you almost died.
I think it's almost died. I don't know. It's confusing because while I was relapsing, I was telling people, like, I was like, I think I need help. Like, I'm relapsing. And everyone was pretty cool. about
Nonchalant,
it.
right?
Yeah, they were like, whatever. No, but they were like, I don't know. They were just like, we hear you, and yeah. And then I went to
Best of luck.
rehab. Yeah, good luck out there. And then, well, because no one can help me, like I have to help
Right.
me. But then I got out of rehab, and people were upset. So I don't know. I'm unclear a little bit on, I think something must have happened. I don't know, but maybe it just sunk in with them, or maybe like they didn't realize how bad it was, and me going to rehab showed them how bad it was. I'm
Right.
not sure.
Do you think that
Um,
you did something that you're forgetting that has negatively impacted them, or?
I think I've considered that. I've considered I did something I forgot. I've considered that I was asking for things because I never verbally asked for anything, but you don't have to verbally ask for things. Your actions can be asking for things. And so I feel like maybe people thought they were doing a lot, and I didn't realize all the work they were putting in. I don't know.
Do you think it upsets? I could see it upsetting people. I don't think it's wrong, to be clear, but I could see it upsetting people that maybe it seems like you don't take it seriously because luckily I say, you're so open. And,
Yeah.
Is it fucking cute that you're making a joke about Klonopin in the iPod on day one of rehab? And it hasn't been, how long since you just got out, and you're talking about it pretty openly already. I wonder if that pisses people off.
I think it does. I actually had one friend that really pissed her off, and I was like, I don't know. This is how I deal with things. This is like my coping, is to try to like reach out about it. That's like it's just what I do.
What should we do if we get a message like that, like, hey, I need help? What should we do as a person you're messaging?
That's so hard. Because I mean, I would, if I got a message like that, and I have in the past, my move is to call, see what's going on, talk to the person, and see if they're willing to go get help. If someone's not willing to get help yet, you can't do anything. If someone's willing, I will accompany someone to a meeting, or I will help them maybe like find a rehab to check into. But if someone's not willing, you're just going to kill yourself trying to help them.
There's this book that I like, 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. And he's a therapist, and he says to one of his patients, are you willing to make this change? And they're like, what? No, I'm not willing. Okay. Are you willing to be willing to make this change? And then they went down the line. Are you willing to think, are you willing to and until they got to like, fine, I'll consider that.
Oh, that's how Henda does OMAT in the morning. It's like the plank, literal minute plank. It's like, you don't want to do the plank, don't do it. Just get in the plank position. All right. Now do it.
That's how I get myself to write. I'm just like, open the notebook, open it.
Right.
And then once I open it, I see my notes, and I'm like, okay.
Right. Maybe with different words, but I know I told Hannah this in private. So let me say it again. There's people, without knowing it, that helped me get sober. And I knew I was denying having a problem for the longest time. But then you think about that, and then you think about the people that are so sharp, so smart, and how they say it changed their lives. Dan Soder was a big one. Didn't know it. Nikki Glazer, my friend Kara, and Hannah Boone was. So remember this, Hannah. Anytime you're like, hey, I'm supposed to do this for myself, but who gives a fuck? Remember that you're really doing it for me. And the next time you relapse, I'm going to also.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
That just sounds like fun. I don't. I'm misinterpreting fun again.
I feel like me and Keith are very different drunks. I feel like it's a different time.
Well, here's on piggybacking on what Keith just said. I want all the Al-Anonics to notice, if you've heard this show for the 16 plus years that we've been going on, I have told Keith multiple times that he's an alcoholic. And you notice I'm not on that list. And I'm not saying that because I want to be on that list. I'm saying that because you will never be on that list if you punish someone into recognizing that they're an alcoholic, or you yell at someone that they're an alcoholic. It will never be the inspiration that makes them stop, because you actually can't do anything about it until they see what they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so quit wasting your time. Come to. All right.
Oh, I stopped. One was last. Like, oh, is that what you're doing?
Right. Hannah Boone, follow online. Follow at Boone Comedy. We'll get some beach pics sometime soon. I got a feeling. So make sure you're subscribed. All right.
I might. You never know.
You never know. You never know. That's the summer of love. Of course, you're already following us on all social media, right? That includes YouTube and Reddit. Censor Keith and the Girl. But you want to follow your favorite guests? Just make sure you say hi through our social media, or in Hannah's case, at Boone Comedy directly, and let them know you care. Otherwise, what next thing you know, I don't give a fuck who they are. Can you just tell them you care? Okay, whether the orgasm thing is true or not, just at least tell them you care.
Also,
And
doesn't
you find them
everybody
funny.
doesn't everybody go on the elevator? It's like, I want to press the button. You've wanted to press the
Right.
button your whole
Mhm.
life. Here's a like button in front of you. I promise you it'll make someone come.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true.